Hi, my name is Madeline Cossitt, and I'm going to give an overview of my financial plan for Bill and Teri Pugh. So the first thing in my financial plan is my engagement letter, which includes the objectives for the financial plan and pretty much what's going to happen throughout the financial plan and the fees that are included, which hopefully is a good grade. Anyway, so the process of a financial plan is establishing a relationship with the client, which is what I did with the engagement letter, and then gather the client's data, analyze their finances, which would include establishing goals after that, developing a plan, implementing that plan, and then monitoring that plan. So the first thing that I did was gather their information, which that would include their income, what type of insurances do they have, what are their plans for retirement, and their assets and liabilities. So the goals that my client, Bill and Teri Pugh, had were they wanted to downsize to a cabin and move to Tennessee. Not in that order, though. They wanted to move to Tennessee and downsize to a cabin. Sorry. They want to ensure that their spouse is cared for in the event that they pass away, and they want to travel 4 to 5 times per year, both domestically and internationally, and they would also like to have an endowment for an ASU student to travel, and that's really nice. So what I did was I took the life cycle approach, which has factors like what are their ages or what is their marital status, do they have children, just different things like that. It's very easy to gather that data and then look at it compared to their finances. So once I gathered their data, I made a balance sheet and an income statement and took kind of a financial snapshot of where they are currently at. So after I did that, I looked at the feasibility of their proposed goals and what it actually cost to fulfill those goals. Once I did that, I made my recommendations. So my first recommendation was that they need to pay off their credit card debt. This is a very, very important thing because good credit scores are amazing. And I know that sounds really not smart, but it's important to have a good credit score because then you can't do anything if you don't have a good one. So, wow, Maddie, good job. But really, what I mean is once they pay off all of their credit card debt, they can start saving for their future. They can start investing in their future. Otherwise, it's just going to build up interest. And once they pay that off, they won't have the interest or the fees that they have to pay, and everything will be great, and they can retire because nobody wants to pay off credit card debt for the rest of their lives. My second recommendation was to open a savings account, and this is primarily for their post-retirement goals because as far as I'm concerned, the client believes that their Social Security funds will pay for their living expenses after retirement, but Social Security is not going to pay for them to travel 4 to 5 times a year, or to move to a cabin, or to start an endowment, which is like $25,000 at minimum. So, a savings account, yes. The recommended amount for savings for people around their age, which is I think 48, is about 10% according to thebalance.com, which is a good website. Check it out. And what I did was I calculated how much it would be for them to fulfill their goals plus move to that little cabin, and I decided they needed to save up 12%, I think, annually to be able to live that. And I also added in an emergency fund because life happens. Whether somebody lost their job or if some unexplained, unpredicted expense like cruise trip gone wrong happens and they have to stay in a hospital in Mexico, you have that emergency fund. So what is recommended by, again, The Balance and Investopedia and all of my other little fun websites, it is 6 months, 6 months of their expenses. So if they had $3,000 worth of expenses each month, then that would be $18,000 annually put back for an emergency fund. And I also did a little emergency fund ratio to show where they were at now with that. And I believe that they had like 2.1 months of emergency fund, and the recommendation is 6, which is like the better, but you can do 3 and still be okay, but 6 is. So my third recommendation is to take the retirement option that supports their spouse. So to my understanding, option A only is received until Bill in the event that he passes away. Like that's what I understood. So option B says that it is still available as long as one of them are still alive, I believe. So if you want to take care of your spouse, you want to make sure that they're taken care of and that income is coming in, then I would take option B, just to make extra sure. Then I added estate planning. I know that they said that they didn't have a will or an estate plan, and that they had both named each other as beneficiaries, but an estate plan it's not at any cost to you. Really, it at least have a will. It fulfills your wishes. It reduces taxes and fees that are associated with asset transferring and everything, and it just gives the spouse that is still alive kind of less stress than it would be to go through all that without your spouse being there. I hope that makes sense. But it's just a little added something. Just take care of your wife, Bill. Just do it. So I know I've said like 5 times. Oh, that was a lie. I've said a lot. Anyway, what I did after I did my recommendations is I kind of gave y'all a pat on the back and said that these things that you did were good. So snaps and claps for investing in mutual funds and having life insurance, because life insurance, again, it is so crucial to make sure that you have something or a source of income for your spouse, especially if you're the one that is maybe the breadwinner or is taking care of your spouse. So implementing all of my recommendations and looking at this financial plan is up to the discretion of the client. So if there are any questions, or if we need to go back and look at something or adjust anything, please let me know. Thank you.